You know, in a survival situation or your bug out bag, it's great to have tools that fill multiple purposes. And I came across a knife that I've had for many years that I pulled out, and it's one of my favorites. And it's the KCB 70, which is a German-made knife for the Dutch Army back in 1970. And the thing that I really love about this bayonet, even though it was made for the Stoner 63 rifle, they do fit the AR-15 M16 platform. So it's an M16 bayonet, and as you can see already on the end with a wire cutter. This is a multi-purpose tool, but yet a really quality, well-made weapon. Okay, the KCB 70 M1 bayonet made for the Stoner 63 rifle. Here it is, a full view of it with the scabbard. And, you know, as you can see, and I've mentioned earlier, the Soviet-style AKM Bowie knife clip point. And then you can see the serrations right here for the saw teeth. And then, of course, this is one of the most famous features of the AK design is the wire cutter. And one of my favorites, by the way. I really like AK bayonets. But this really makes it nice to be able to put it on an AR-15 family of rifle. But as you can see, it just fits down into the slot. And then you put your wire in that hole right there. And then you just cut. And then you have a stop right here. Now, as you can see where my thumb is, on the scabbard itself, or the sheath, it has this guard here. And this keeps you, where you're holding it and putting pressure from sliding into the knife. So it's a nice design. And most of your Soviet bayonets also have that, except usually it's a lot of times it's made of a rubber material. And I was talking about multi-purpose a minute ago. As you can see, it has a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver type tip on it. This is a bottle opener right here. And then this right here, I'm not really sure what this is, but it's you can definitely use it to wedge or do some things, and I know there's a purpose, but I looked quite a bit on these different knives, and there wasn't really any explanation. This is made of a plastic, a hard plastic, and same with the grips. Now, that brings me to another point. There is another KCB 70, the original, had somewhat of a little bit more of a shiny plastic grip. And the blade itself was more of a blued finish. But the grips, typically when you find them, they're cracked because they're very brittle. Now they're easy to remove, and I'm going to talk to you about that in just a few minutes. But this is the Parkerized version, and the grips are much more durable, where the bayonet goes and into the barrel. Now, one of the features that I love about this knife is, of course, the AKM design, the Soviet original wire cutter design with the Bowie point. And these knives, it kind of creates the best of both worlds. And not only that, it's made by Eckhart Soligen, which is a great knife maker out of Germany. So the Dutch knew what they were doing when they put this design together. The scabbard itself, as you can see, it has the throat itself is metal, reinforced. Then we have a canvas attachment here with the traditional German style button and with the aluminum. We have a place to put it on a basic pistol belt, or it has the place to slide your belt through. And then of course it has a tie down here to go around your leg to keep it from flopping back and forth. Nice and riveted, heavy stitching. This is the earmark of a good surplus, military surplus or military spec bayonet or field knife. High quality. These knives are put through tests and trials to make sure before a government will assign these or issue these to their troops. So when you're buying surplus gear, you're getting quality immediately. So I do that a lot because I really feel good about buying something that I know has been tested. Now, as you can see up here at the top, this also unsnaps and comes open. I guess you could. This makes it easy to attach to your belt without having to take your belt off. One of the basic elements of having a good knife is a tang and how this works, and we're going to look at that. And this bayonet, I'm going to show you how you can just take this right off. There's a Phillips head screw right here. Now on that one that's brittle, the one I was telling you about earlier, you can actually fit a sight tool. In fact, a lot of guys fitted a sight tool here. But this is solid, so it gives it a lot more. I would much rather have a solid piece here than for it to have a sight tool. Okay, now here we have a flathead plastic screw, and that's what that is. And then this is all that really holds the grip on once you take off the back piece on the bayonet. And I'm going to show you the tang of the knife here. As you can see, here it is. It's just one piece that comes together. Makes it really easy for you to take this on and off. And so if you ever break it, you can, of course, if you can find another one, but that's how it goes. We're going to look at this compared to the M7 bayonet. Now this is the older style bayonet. It's not the M9, which is current military. More similar to this style, but about $139, $150, I think. I'm not sure, but it's well over $100. But this is the older. Now this one's been through tried and true. But we're going to compare this to this knife just to give you a good reference point. Now here I have both bayonets disassembled. As you can see, the blade on the KCB is wider. This is a 7-inch blade, by the way, just actually a touch under, and so is the M7. But the tang, look how fine this tang is, and then look how sturdy this one is. It's even welded, the coupling's even welded on the back with reinforcements here. One thing I do like about the M7 is the thickness of the blade. It's a little thicker at the top, but you know, it's just not too much thicker. It's just that there's a taper here. But this is a more substantial piece of metal. But the blade design, I really don't care for. It's pretty straight, and I like this. It's better for cutting, better for defensive use as far as that goes. It's a better fighting knife. So but that just gives you an idea of what differences are and how to choose something that you're going to be using. Of course, once again, one of the biggest advantages of this KCB 70 M1 over the M7 is, of course, the versatility with the wire cutter, the tools on the end here, and of course again with the shape. Now I've seen them collector grade for about $145, but typically on eBay and other places they run about 50 bucks, and that's about what I'm seeing wherever. I did buy this many years ago and paid a lot less. I can't tell you a source except that I have seen some on eBay and places to find something like this. Now again, the blade is 7 inches. The overall in the sheath, knife in the sheath, is about 14.5 inches long. One of the things though, as far as the weight is, it weighs about 19 ounces altogether. The knife itself is 8.5 ounces. So it's a nice handy knife, but it's not extremely heavy. Subscribe for more fun gun reviews and sensible survival. God bless America, and long live the Republic.